And I also said that the United States has to stop continuing to spend and I did stop to a large extent, funds on NATO. Because I said, when it happens, they're not going to stay unified. And I was right, because look, this has happened, and some countries want to get involved, and other countries don't want to get involved. You got a mess in NATO. Now, I also said this. I met with them, 28 countries total, and I said, you know, you people aren't paying your bills. You're delinquent. You know, anybody in the real estate business, delinquent. Delinquent means you haven't paid your rent. Well, I said, you're delinquent. And they said, well, what do you mean? Including Germany, they were at 1%. They're supposed to be at 2%. 2%'s too low, but they were supposed to be at 2%. But you had 7 countries paid up, including, of course, the United States is always paid up, you know. And they screw us on trade, but we protect them. Think of it. You know, they're as bad as China on trade. Just about as bad as China. I said to Angela, how many Chevrolets do we have in Berlin? Why, I don't believe any. I said, you're right about that. There might be one in a museum someplace. And yet we take their Mercedes-Benzes, we take all their stuff. No, they kill us. So what happens very terribly is NATO turns out to be exactly what I said would happen. But I got them to pay $430 billion, and I'll never forget the meeting, and the press didn't cover it. I had a meeting, you know, I went the first time, you know, I was in all fairness sort of a rookie. I went as president, they tried to say how wonderful things are. They built a $3 billion office building from NATO that's like vacant. They need about 1/10 the space. Beautiful, they used a great Chicago architect, everything beautiful. Perfect for one tank shell. You don't even need, in case of war, you don't even need to fly a plane. Just move a tank, shoot one shot, the whole thing will collapse. I said, you should have built, instead of a $3 billion building, you should have built a $500 million bunker, and you would have been a lot better off. Beautiful building. One shot, right through the middle, the whole thing will collapse. But I said that I really believe that NATO is not unified. Everybody thought it was terrible. You remember the hard time they gave me because you're supposed to say right up, according to Section 5 or whatever, that we will immediately fight to save Europe. If anything happens, because mostly it was set up for the Soviet Union, but let's say Russia now will take the place. And I said, well, have to find out what they did wrong, right? And the press just killed me. I'm not for NATO. But I went to this meeting, 28 people, and I said, 20 of you are delinquent. You haven't paid. And I said, how can the United States defend you if you're not paying? And when they don't pay, we pay more because we're stupid. We keep paying. Yep. So one of them got up, the president of a certain country I won't mention. This was a secret meeting, which got very little press because they know what goes on in those meetings, whether they're there or not. But he got up, sir, does this mean that you will not defend us in case we're attacked? I said, you mean if you don't pay your bills, will I defend you? That's right. I said, that's exactly right. I will not defend you. Because if I said I would, they continue. Why would they pay their bills? I had no choice. I had to say, right? I think 90% of the good business people in the room would say that. I said, no, I wouldn't defend you. I would be totally against it because you haven't paid your bills. So congratulations, you're on your own. The next day, billions of dollars flooded in. It was amazing. Billions and billions. I took in $430 billion. You believe that?